I'm coming to you today to talk about a different side of the journey. And it's something I have been aware of, keenly committed to, and have always known that the spiritual side of us and the way we feel about ourselves and the feelings that we harbor that are very, very old have a huge impact on us. But they also, I truly believe to my very soul, affect our health or lack thereof. So I'm embarking on this journey once again, and I'm going to invite any and all of you to join me if there is anything in your life that you would like to be better. If you're in a place where you're stuck, if you're in a place where you're fearful or apprehensive about where the future is taking you, if you have medical issues that you're dealing with and they frighten you, come join me. I have to thank Patty, Rockstar Mom. You extended your hand to me at a time when I needed it desperately and brought me the Louise Hay book. In addition to the book, I started to get comments from other people about Louise Hay. So apparently I'm one of the 4 people on the planet who'd never heard of her. So for that, I'm sorry, I wish I had. My journey has taken me to some wonderful places, and I've met some wonderful, wonderful spiritual or spiritually advanced souls who have helped me to get to the place where I am now. But there are always other teachers, and there are always other lessons. So I started reading the book, and I will read it. It's a little more tedious for me right now when I'm going through all of this because there are so many thoughts that have been racing around my brain. And somebody had mentioned to listen to tapes while going through this, and that they would be very helpful, and that the spiritual side of it is a really important factor in healing, which I know. By the way, this is hilarious. This is the Gabor Sweet Talk, and I washed this one their way wrong. So I'm going to show you the washing of the wigs to get a better result from it, doing it a way that they don't recommend. But a lot of people use, so it's nothing startling, nothing fancy, but hopefully I'll be doing that in the next few days. Let's come back to this because I think it's a really important focus. What I did this morning was I found a couple of the Louise Hay things online and I started listening. People tell me all the time that my voice is very soothing. I don't hear it that way. I hear it as grating, actually, and it drives me crazy. But if it is soothing to people, I get it, because I find her voice not only soothing, but it's almost mesmerizing. So I did one of the guided meditations, not exactly in the way that it should be done, in the sense that she recommended that you lie down, get into a comfortable place. And that is what I normally do when I meditate. For me, and people do it in a way that works for them, but for me, I lie down. I just try to quiet myself and get into that place which she wonderfully guides you to in this with that great soothing music to accompany it, to revisit the past and the things that brought you to the place you find yourself in now, and very possibly stuck in now. I know to the very core of my being that this is going to make a difference for me. And once again, I am going to keep you updated on my journey with this as much as the physical side of my treatment and healing. But I intend to be an active role in my own healing. I intend to allow my body to heal, and I truly believe, and I have never for one moment, for 1 millisecond, thought or blamed anybody else for where I find myself medically. I am culpable, and I know it. I know that I created this situation for myself because it brought with it lessons needed to learn. Now, would I, the persona Jerry, do that? Of course not. But on the level at which I am more evolved, I understood my need for this, and perhaps part of the lesson for me is to expand my consciousness even more and to hopefully take a lot of you right along with me, so that as we are making my journey better and as we are making my medical condition better, we're going to make you better too. So let's do this. I'm going to put a link below to the particular video that I was watching and listening to. I am going to use this every single day, at least for a while. It is centering. It's grounding. It is not telling me anything I don't already know, because I've been on this spiritual path, well, probably my whole life, because I had those intimate feelings of connection with the spiritual from the time I was a very little girl. But I understand the need for it for us as a people in order to make our lives, I don't want to say more bearable. I don't want to say better. I want to say the best that they can possibly be. We have to give ourselves permission to live a good life, to live a healthy life, to live a life where we can be free of monetary worries, where we can live a life closer to the one that we dream of for ourselves, but we have to give ourselves permission. The truth is, and I know this, most of us just don't feel worthy. She mentions that you feel guilty or you feel that you don't deserve it. I think most of us do for one reason or another. We garner anger or resentment toward people or incidents from the past, and we carry that along with us all of our lives. When I was a young woman, it was in the 1970s, there was this thing called EST. It was Earhart Seminar Training. It was the thing, and at one point I was going through a difficult time in my life, relationship related, and I was just drained and suffering a lot. And I had heard about this, and a friend of mine said, "Why don't you go?" And I thought, I'm going to do this. One of the overall major aspects of this was that most of the feelings we have today, most of the fights we have today, most of the insecurities we have today, I would say all of them, in fact, come from a much earlier time. And when we react to somebody, let's say you're having a fight with somebody, the way you react to what you hear or you perceive you hear or the way it makes you feel is not necessarily a response that comes from you today as you are, but it comes from the way you felt the very first time somebody made you feel like that. So what they talked about in the training back then was this thing called stimulus response. That somebody puts out a stimulus, we respond in the way that we respond. And it continues. It's almost like playing ping pong or playing tennis. Somebody gets the ball in the air, and then we respond in the way that we've always responded, or a way that it's always made us feel, so therefore we react in the way that we react. Until one of the parties stops acting the way that they always have, nothing is going to change. And when I became aware of that back then, and I started to see it not only in myself, but in other people, it was almost amusing, because you would hear two people arguing, sometimes really angrily, really devastatingly, and they sounded like two children, because you realized it was not the person of age, whatever, you fill in the blank. It was the 9-year-old, it was the 6-year-old, it was the deep hurt, it was the deep pain of that time. So once again, I'm at the start of this journey. I know, as I say, I know that it is an integral part of my healing process. So if you're so inclined, come along with me. Let's talk about the benefits we feel from it as we go along. And this is something that's going to be ongoing for me. So once again, I will not have my channel be about disease. It is not about illness per se. It is not a woe me. It is about what we learn in life and the things we can do to make our lives better. We are definitely the captain of our ship. We create our destiny. Let's make it better. I'm here with you, so let's go play this game. I hope some of you decide to join me. If you don't, come watch as I tell you what my reactions are, and let's enjoy the process. Take care. I love you. I've got several videos in the queue to load, and they're about all different subjects. So you'll be seeing them come up in the next few days, and we're going to take it from there. And of course, I'm going to update everybody on Monday as I meet the wonderful Robert Mackey. Bob, take care. I'll see you soon. Have a great day. And the sun is shining. It started again as a miserable, disgusting, horrible day. I started out in a lot of pain on my leg, and it's all fine. It's all fine, and the day is absolutely glorious. So yes, the sun really wants to shine on me. I'm going to let it happen. Let it shine on you too. Take care.